Hey everybody, I got a couple of British indie films that are playing on Pnnny right now that I think you're going to enjoy. Also, we got a platform update from co-founder Brian, and somebody asked me a question on the old Twitter machine, so let's get to it. Hey everybody, welcome to the Pnnny Report, episode number 2. My name is Coop. The Pnnny Report is where you get to learn about all the movies and TV shows that are playing on Pnnny right now. Pnnny, of course, is the first pay-as-you-go streaming service, so what that means is you get to watch the movies without any advertising, but most importantly, without any subscription, right? Because you're paying as you go, right? So average cost of a movie is only 35 cents. It's a super crazy good deal, but because it's pay-as-you-go, if you only watch like 3 minutes, it only costs a penny, right? Because you're paying like 1 penny at a time. That's why it's called Pnnny. All right, I got 2 movies, British independent films, that are quite good. One is very thoughtful, and then the other one is just completely batshit crazy. So let's get to it. All right, the first one is called Just 8. It's from 2012. It's the story of a young woman named Eve. In the synopsis, she's billed as a bulimic chef, which is like, haha, got it. And ironic, yes, she likes to cook, but she doesn't like to eat, or she does eat it, but then she throws it up. Whatever. You get the idea. It's ironic. But what is interesting about Eve is just that she's struggling. She's angry. There's a lot of misdirected anger. Sort of whoever seems to sort of collide into her gets to kind of get a little sample of that. But she has a lot of secrets. You know, she has a lot of secrets. So she's kind of keeping it all inside, and she lives this sort of secret life of bulimia. And some people are starting to catch on in the film. And in this scene, her mother is starting to kind of put it all together, and she's confronting her about it.
You never eat with us. You look sick all the time. You're so thin. I don't think you've had a period in years. Are you bulimic, Eve?
No, it's just I'm trying to reintroduce sugar into my diet, and I didn't want anyone to know about it.
Stop it. Don't lie to me.
Okay, so, there's the mom, and she's doing mom stuff, and it all seems, legit mom stuff. But you start to realize that both the parents, they're not really so great. And you can see why Eve doesn't really trust them and isn't really confiding. Then you also realize that Eve is kind of surrounded by horrible people. Like, her friends are horrible. Her boss has some anger management things. She's got these 2 nice guys chasing after her. Not just one, but two nice guys. Because, whenever there's like a young woman who's got like something, to work on, there's always the nice guys that are stepping in and like, I can save you. I want to fix you. And I'm the only one who will, and she's like, please, I just no relationship, just trying to get my life together. So it's an interesting film. It's pretty complex. It's a small film, but there's a lot of complexities to it. Fun fact, the mother in that clip right there is also the director and the writer of the film, and Eve is actually her daughter in real life. Crazy, right? But that's why I like independent films, because they're it's just so hard to make things, and these people they want to do a film about something that is important to them, and they just go through so much to make it happen. And realistically, these just aren't bulimia is not a topic that Hollywood just can't wait to do the next bulimia film. You know what I mean? Hollywood, they're making fucking Aquaman. You know what I mean? They want to do a bunch of that shit. So these smaller films, they make you think, and the people who make them want you to know about whatever the topic is, and so it comes in this smaller package, but it's just so much richer. After this film was over, I didn't, what do I know about bulimia? What the hell, I don't do nothing. So I'm just like, I hit the Google machine real quick. I'm like, what the hell is bulimia? What's going on here? And a lot of people have bulimia. I didn't know that. It turns out that 1.5% of young girls, like 13 to 18, have some type of eating disorder, bulimia, anorexia, or both, right? That's a lot, right? I think if you look at a playground at school or a gymnasium or something like that, there's like a half a dozen young girls who have this thing. And then in my mind, I'm like, oh, well, that only affects girls. Wrong. Doesn't just affect girls. 0.5% of boys as well have an eating disorder in that same age group. And you're like, God, really? Then I'm reading, and it's not just young people, it's people in college. If you're transgendered, 1 out of 6 transgendered people have an eating disorder. 5% of women in the military have an eating disorder. 4% of men in the military have an eating disorder. 4% of men, the Marines, macho Marines and Army guys and like 4% of them have an what? Like I had no idea. So again, this is why I like independent films, because you learn things. You get more than the next iteration of Spider-Man. It's just it's more interesting to me. Anyway, it's on Pnnny now. Check it out. Let's do the next one. Bait, 2014. It's a story about Bex and Dawn, these two women who they work in a little coffee shop, but they dream of kind of owning their own coffee shop, something like upscale and nice. And they're single, but they're together, and they're they're friends, and they're gonna do it on their own. Damn it, And so they go and they try and get a loan to start their business, and then nobody will loan them money, and they get kind of depressed and frustrated, and they don't know what to do. And then they run into this dude named Jeremy, and this Jeremy guy seems he seems cool, and he's kind of an entrepreneur. And he said he'd loan some money to them, and they're like, "Wow, should we do this?" So this is how that looks.
So, Desiree, no, this money, it's on the straight, right?
No. I'm just one of those weirdos that likes standing around in empty shops getting insulted.
So how does it work? The arrangements.
You pay me back on the dot every week, or I break your fucking legs and then start in your faces!
I can need a lady now. No, she doesn't. Oh, no, she's tight as an act. Tight as an act. Don't you tell people you're wild, girl.
Yeah, he's totally crazy. I don't know why everybody's laughing, because he is an absolute psychopath. They don't pick up on that for some reason. I guess they're just sort of blinded by the money, and they want their dreams to begin, so they take the money. Obviously, it doesn't go well because he's a loan shark and he's totally violent and just seems to enjoy being a loan shark. So it's, the plot of the movie from the very beginning, because they show you the beginning in the very first scene. So you kind of know where this is headed. And what makes this film interesting is just how everything starts to kind of unravel and unfold, and all the little intricacies of it all. So it's quite good. The last act is just straight up Tarantino hyper violence and gore. I mean, it's like it ends like spectacularly. Wow. It gets pretty crazy at the end. I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. Anyway, Bait, I think you'll dig it. It's just, it's a good, smart thriller. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Hey, now what I got is some updates. I got some updates from co-founder Brian. So let's do the changelog. Changelog, updates from co-founder Brian. He tells me and I tell you. That's how it works. We, Pnnny it's a new thing, man, and we're constantly making updates, and we're building this thing out slowly, bit by bit. And so there's so many updates that I thought, I'm just going to start sharing them as they happen. All right. So Pnnny is new. And previously, when we started this thing, which was not long ago, just a couple of months ago, we didn't have a lot of films. We had like a dozen films or something. It turns out it's not so easy to go to a filmmaker and say, hey, we have this thing you've never heard of, and we'd love to just have your film on it. They're like, click, hang up the phone. So it's not easy. But we did get a distributor, and we now have 3,700 films that we have access to that we're going to slowly start rolling out on the platform. So now you can look forward to a dozen to 20 films every week rolling out on the platform. So that's exciting. What it does, though, is it means the whole interface needs to change. We had a very simple UI before, and now it needs to get a little more complicated. We worked in some genres and stuff like that. So let's go and take a look at the website. All right, so we're on the Pnnny website, pnnny.com. This is what you're going to see now. You got this grid here. This isn't all of the films that we have on Pnnny, but what we did add is this little horizontal scroll. So we've got a few more kind of tucked away for you in each sort of genre that we've queued up for you. If you want to see all of the films, though, you go to Movies Recently Added, and then this will give you a dump of all of the films that we have actually on the platform in order of the most recently uploaded at the top here. If you want to see what's most popular, you just go to Movies Most Popular, and you can see what other people are watching. Lastly, if you want to go to a genre, you just pick a genre. So we'll go to horror here, and you can see all of the horror films. Obviously, this is a simple update, but I just want to make sure everyone knows how the website works now. Next on the list is the iPhone app, and then right after that, we're going to launch Android, and then we're going to move into Roku. So stay tuned for that. That's it for the changelog. Let's go to the Twitter machine. Hey, we're on the Twitter machine here, and look at that, it's pooping out questions, and it pooped out one this week for me from Editflix, and he's like, hey, dude, what is the deal with Pnnny being spelled weird? Why does it have 3 N's? Why does Pnny have 3 N's? What the hell is that about? And that's a fair question, but it's a very simple answer, is Pnnny.com, Pennny.com, that's owned by somebody. Somebody owns that, and they ain't doing nothing with it, but it's for sale, and it's for sale for like a whole bunch of money. And you gotta, if you want, it's really a great brandable domain, and you have to pay. And I'm like, fuck you. Here's the deal: you type it into your browser once, and your browser remembers it for the rest of your life. When you're on your iPhone app, you don't even type it in. You just hit an icon. That's it. In Android, hit an icon. Roku, you're on your remote. You're not even typing it in. So worst case scenario, you're typing it in once on your browser. The funny thing is we just went through a bunch of site updates, but the website is probably going to be the least visited part of Pnnny, because really everybody's on a mobile device or on Roku or whatever, right? So it's not that big of a deal, man. I think the days of the 90s where it was like, oh, well, we bought business.com, and anytime somebody wants to do business, they're going to go to business.com and we're going to make millions. It's like, nah, it fucking didn't work out like that. Doesn't really, it's nice, to own a fancy word, but it's not really necessary. So that's really the short story, man. It's just, it's an $8 domain, and I think it's going to work. All right, that's the show, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to learn more about what's showing up on Pnnny, make sure to subscribe and hit the like button and the bell, and then, refresh your browser a few times. I don't know, just hit everything right now. Just start hitting all the buttons.